I am quite literally speechless. I'm not going to be able to predict it. Classic, as you do. I made this face out loud. Is the goat for me. Not doing what it's supposed to do. It's so cute. Yeah. Hey everyone, it's Rose and welcome or welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be another spoiler-free reading vlog. I have been in the horror mood lately. I've been reading a bunch of horror books. I've got so many more for my TBR, so today's vlog is kind of going to be themed around that. We're going to read some spooky, scary books. We're going to have a good time, a fun time, and hopefully a bit of a scary time. And of course, I got to bring you guys along with me for emotional support at this point. I don't have a set TBR for this video, but I do have a couple books on my radar that are like my most likely options of what I'm going to pick up next, so let's talk through them quickly. First up, we have my current read, which has a high chance of being a 5-star read. My goodness. I'm currently just over halfway through this. This is Lavona by Atessa Moshfegh. I have no words to describe this book. It is unlike anything I've ever read. I've never even read anything kind of similar to it with a similar premise. It is completely unique. This is a completely unique experience. It is horrific, it is gruesome, it is hard to read at times, but at the same time, I'm addicted. I cannot put it down. I got this from my local library and it was shelved in the fantasy section. This is definitely more horror than fantasy. It's maybe set in a fantasy world, but it doesn't have a lot of fantastical elements. This at its heart is a horror book. I can't explain it to you because I don't know what's going on. I would say definitely check your trigger warnings, but if you don't have any, then go into it blind. I went into this blind and the experience has been the best ever. I'm on page 170 and I think there's just over 300 pages in this book. It is currently 7 p.m. while I'm starting this vlog, so I don't think I will finish it tonight, but I definitely want to read some more of it. And then we have a little novella here that I found at my library. It is just over 100 pages. This is Night of the Mannequins by Stephen Graham Jones. I really want to read Stephen Graham Jones, but I'm a bit intimidated by some of his bigger books because they are so raved about, so I thought let's pick up one I haven't heard of before. It's short, it's a lot less intimidating to look at. I was killing people, so another one that's got a very unique premise and something that could either be really fun or really scary. Hopefully a combination of both. That's what I'm hoping to get out of this one. I am a mood reader at heart, so we will see what my heart desires throughout this vlog. For now, we have got a couple hours left before it gets fully dark outside, so I'm going to take this opportunity now that it is later on in the day and it is starting to cool down. I'm going to go and sit outside and I'm going to have a little reading session and get a few more pages in of my current read, and we'll see. We'll see if this ends up being a 5-star or if it does something to completely change my mind, but at this point I'm pretty set in this being one of my new favourite books, so hopefully that does not change. Hello, it is the next day. Please excuse the sight of me. The heat wave is back in full force in the south of England, which I'm not a fan of. I'm not a fan of the heat. I get overheated very quickly and I can't cool myself down, so the hair is up today. We're not going to talk about it any further. We are going to talk about books, however. I didn't read too much of this last night. I read another 30 pages and I made it to the 3rd season in here. So there's no chapters, but it is split into spring, summer. I'm now in fall. I don't know whether we go to winter. I don't know where we go with this book, so I can't tell you. So far each one's had a different vibe. It's following the same characters, but the vibes tend to change in between the seasons. So I'm interested to see what fall's vibe's gonna be because I'm not gonna be able to predict it. I'm not gonna be able to predict a damn thing with this book. And I'm having a great time. This evening, when I have some more free time to sit and physically get a reading session in, I will be continuing this one. But I always have at least one audiobook on the go at any given time, and I have just got through a Libby hold of the audiobook of The Night of the Mannequins. It's only 3 hours because this was only a novella, and whilst they're both horror books, they have completely different vibes from what it sounds like on the back of this one. This sounds like it's a short, fast-paced slasher, and that is not what Love Mona is. So while I have some things to do this afternoon, I'm gonna get started on the audiobook of Night of the Mannequins, and then, like I said, this evening, or if I manage to get some free time a bit earlier on, we'll be getting this one back out. Interested to see what this one is about. It's my first Stephen Graham Jones book. I'm pretty sure I introduced this one to you in the last clip, but the heat is melting my brain. Murderous mannequin comes to life in a theatre and starts killing people. Classic, as you do. So I listened to this book in basically one sitting. I'm in shock at the ending. I thought for the majority of this was just going to be your average slasher novella, 3-star kind of vibe, and then the last 10 pages I am quite literally speechless. I made this face out loud. Like, oh, I was listening to the last 10 pages in shock. That is how you write horror. That is how you write it. Stephen Graham Jones, will definitely be reading more from him. It is kind of almost a Stephen King vibe in the beginning in terms of writing style, and I was kind of thinking, okay, no one's gonna do it like Stephen King for me. He's the GOAT for me. You can probably tell both those shows are just for Stephen King and Monster Cans, but that's besides the point. And then the ending made this book for me, I think, between a 3.5 and a 4, just because I wasn't enjoying, like, I was enjoying but not loving most of it. So I don't want to rate it higher than that, but the ending is a 5-star ending. That kind of evens it out as like 3.5, maybe. That seems harsh though. I think I'm gonna make my mind up overnight and actually give it the rating tomorrow, because I'm a bit undecided. But yeah, that ending, that's how you end horror. That is how you end horror. My god, and it was almost emotional. I was almost feeling bad for what happened. I don't know. This was good though. This was good. Now around 10:30 at night, and I am about to go sit myself in bed with at least one dog and read a bit more of this. Maybe not too much, because I would like to have sweet dreams tonight, and reading horror straight before bed is maybe not the best idea. But I have been thinking about this book all day, and I need to read at least a few pages tonight. I can't go a whole day without reading it, because this is my 5-star. I have kind of a busy day tomorrow, but there's definitely enough time to fit some reading in then as well. So I'll talk to you then. Good morning. We have a lot to talk about. First of all, Night of the Mannequins by Stephen Graham Jones. I have settled on a 3.5-star rating. I think because last night I had literally just finished it, I was still kind of in shock at the ending, which is why it was hyped so much for me. But after sleeping on it, I didn't love the first 80% of it. I enjoyed my time with the book, but it was nothing special. It was a very good ending. That is a 5-star ending. That is how you write horror, but it was only the last 10 pages, so I think 3.5 stars is definitely more accurate. I finally finished it. I finished Lavona by Tessa Moshfegh, and of course I rated this 5 stars. I absolutely loved how this ended. It was very fitting with the theme of you don't know what's going to happen next. Things are very bluntly put. They're not, you know, led up by loads of suspense. They're all constantly coming out of nowhere, and the ending didn't disappoint with that. This was so good. It definitely takes crown for the most unique book I have ever read, and it's gonna stay in my head for a long time. Now, as for today's book that I would like to start, this is one that I've had on my TBR on and off for years, but I saw it at my local library and I knew that was a sign to finally pick it up. And it is only like 220 pages, I think. 227. This is My Sister the Serial Killer by Oyinkan Bratway. Definitely butchered that, I'm very sorry, but I have seen so many people rave about this, and I never really knew what it was actually about until I saw it recently again on TikTok, and I was like, wait, That sounds like just my vibe. This is about a woman whose sister keeps calling her saying she's accidentally killed her partners in self-defense, so she's always going to clean up the crime scene for her sister, until one day her sister starts to see the guy that she has been in love with for years, and she's like, I can't let my sister end up killing this guy in self-defense because I'm in love with him. I can't let this guy die. Tell me that does not sound amazing. It's also so short. The chapters are so short. It is a heatwave again in the UK. I can't remember if I mentioned that, but I'm not having a very fun time. So I'm about to go and put all the fans on, put my hair up, which is not a nice sight for YouTube, which is why I'm currently suffering to talk to you guys. But the next few clips I'll probably look not as nice because I can't deal with this right now, so I'll see you in a bit. Look, she just got her hair cut. It's so cute. Yeah. It's custard as well. Yeah. Yeah. So I read the first 50 pages of My Sister the Serial Killer. This is so easy to read. The chapters are so short. I am already very into the story and I cannot wait to see like how this plays out. There's a third dog entering the mix. She doesn't get on camera as much anymore because now she's older. She likes to sleep and not... She likes to cuddle, but she doesn't like to be picked up as much. So she's not in many of my clips anymore. But that's Pepsi. She is the OG. Anyway, I was talking about my book and then I got distracted. The writing style I am loving. The short chapters I am loving. The story I am loving. I'm having such a good time. It is so easy to read. I'm invested in where this is going to go. I like the characters. This is just such a pleasant experience so far. It is also set in Nigeria, and I don't think I've read many books set in Nigeria actually, so it is good always to diversify my reading, and I'm just having a good time. I don't really know. There's not much else to say other than that. I am only 50 pages in, but so far all positive. So it's been a couple of days since I've spoken to you, and in all honesty it has been too hot to do anything. I couldn't even pick up the camera. The heat wave is worse than the last one by so much. But let's talk about the books. So I finished My Sister the Serial Killer and I rated this 4 stars. This was so good. So much fun. I need to read more from this author. I haven't checked out their backlist yet, but I'm absolutely going to. This was so good. So it was only like 220 pages. I would absolutely recommend. And I have in fact started another horror book because it is Summerween. I've been seeing that phrase thrown around everywhere on TikTok and I'm absolutely here for it. Down for Summerween. I am an active participant, so I picked up Near the Bone by Christina Henry. I have had this on my TBR for years, and then I saw it at my local library and knew it was a sign to finally pick it up. The only reason I haven't is because I'm intimidated. I've heard it's scary and I am a wuss. As much as I love horror books, I am a wuss. I'm currently on page 127 and this is about a woman who lives in a cabin in the middle of nowhere with her husband. She is very much brainwashed by him, very much abused by him, very much doesn't know about the outside world, and then there's some sort of creature that they think is like, first of all they think it's like a bear, and the husband wants to go out and shoot it so that it doesn't kill all the things that they need to kill to eat, but it seems like it's some sort of creature rather than an animal. I don't know what it is, but it's already scaring me. There is definitely some sort of mystery going on with this woman as to like how she ended up in this marriage to this man. How young was she when she married him? How old was he when he married her? And also she starts to have like memories of before she was with him, and he tells her they're all dreams and lies, they're not real. So I don't know where she was before she was with him, but there's a lot of dark stuff going on with that man. I hate him, and it makes the whole vibe even more creepy. I'm having such a good time with it so far. It is getting me through the heat wave, because my god is it hot. So I've made it a good, like, at least 2/3 of the way through this book. I'm reading it very easily. I am enjoying it, but you can tell by the writing that it is supposed to be scaring me and freaking me out right now, and it's just not. This, like, entity is supposed to be really scary, but it's just not. I don't think I get scared by things like this because it's so out of the realm of possibility, although I do get scared by some supernatural horror, so I'm still trying to figure out what actually scares me in a horror book. And I can read a horror book and not be frightened and still like it, but I can tell that the intent of the author is to scare me right now and it's not happening. So I'm not getting what I'm supposed to out of this book. So whilst it is entertaining me, it's keeping my attention, it's not going to be a 5-star because it's not, you know, it's not doing what it's supposed to do. Definitely going to finish it though. I think there's only a couple hours left on the audiobook. I switched over to audio and I think I'm just going to listen to that while I have some stuff to do today, and I'll come back to you with my rating. So it is now the evening, and earlier today I finished up Near the Bone and I have decided to rate it 3 stars. I like the ending. I didn't like a lot of other things in this, and not in the way where I read horror to be disturbed or to be scared. I just didn't like it because, I don't know, a lot of the characters were kind of a bit gross. I feel like with supernatural things, it has to be written in a very particular way to actually feel like horror to me, because if it's out of the realm of possibility, it's not going to scare me because I know it's not real. But I do know other people would like that. That's not a critique of the book, it's just how I'm finding my personal style of horror that I like. I'm thinking this isn't really it. It was fast paced, it was quite short. I think the audiobook was 8.5 hours and I could have read it in one sitting. And I think that is where we're going to leave up today's reading vlog. Read, I think, these 4 books in this video. We found a new 5-star read in Lapvona. We had 3.5 stars for Night of the Mannequins, then 4 stars for My Sister the Serial Killer, and finally Near the Bone with 3 stars. I hope you all had a lovely Summerween if you too chose to celebrate, and let me know what your favourite horror book is if you're a horror fan, because I am always looking for more recs. If you'd like to see more from me, please be sure to like and subscribe as I post new videos every single week. I hope you have a lovely day and I will see you in another video. Bye!